Okay, so I just wanted to do a little intro to this video that I'm gonna post. So we were walking around Smith, and this professor comes up and he's like, "Do you guys need help finding anything?" We're like, "No, we're just walking around." He's like, "Are you visiting?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Where are you from?" Blah 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 and all that. And so he's like, "I'm a professor here." He's a professor of religion, I believe. And so he was like, what do you want to know about Smith? Anyways, we went under the tree because it was really hot out, and so we did that. And so this was kind of the conversation that we had. Enjoy.
Or even Tufts or something, you're going to get a lot of personal attention here. The college has a commitment to like everyone graduating with a research experience one-on-one with a professor. I could also repeat you, and I know a lot of the chemistry professors like Kate Queenie, and I mean, we talk to each other. We're a small school, we talk across disciplines and stuff.
Okay.
We know our students, and it's not uncommon for us to share students and say, oh, that student's really smart, they're in your class, how are they doing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of personal attention here. That's good. That's also, it's a little village. People are in your business. So if you hate that, you might not want to be here. One of the nice things about our school is Northampton is really a lovely town, and it's hip. It's not stodgy. There's people out there late at night. It's safe. You can go down. The ice cream shops open late. There's musical venues. There's people out on the street. There's a lot of coffee shops. So if you want to escape campus, you can go there. There's inter-campus buses. You can take Pioneer Valley Transport. The school pays for it to go up to UMass. In Mount Holyoke, we have 5 college registration. Only about 10% of the students do that in any given semester. But when you get more advanced, there might be some classes up at UMass. Now, obviously, we're a lot smaller than a place like UMass. I think, if it were me and I was paying out-of-state tuition, I wouldn't do that to go to UMass. I might do that to go to, I don't know, Berkeley. But you're just asking me. I went to a state school. I was from Ohio. I went to Miami of Ohio, which is kind of like a public Ivy. It's a good school. But I paid in-state tuition, which at that point was like $2,000 a year, so it was a steal. But I wouldn't pay out-of-state tuition to go. I'd sooner pay to go to Smith or go to Tufts or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think you'll get a lot more attention there.
Right now, we're visiting for her to get a sense of the schools. Like she sort of looked in her school's, computer program when looking for certain things, and certain schools came up.
Right.
Smith was one of them.
I had that band.
And band, and a few other things, that chemistry, and
Right. This is a participatory school, so if there's stuff that you want to do, they're not going to say, well, you're not good enough to do that. Even if it's like you want to learn to do drawing or oil painting, you can take a class in that. You might not get an advanced class, but you could take the intro classes. Or if you want to play on a team, they're not going to tell you where you can't play. They might not start you, but if you want to do crew, you can row. You might be on the B team.
Yeah.
But
she plays softball, obviously, with the shirt.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, yeah, I think my recommendation would be that if they let you come back up here, Smith, the admissions people arrange, sometimes they even pay for trips up. If, depending on COVID, if they'll let students with, vaccines come to camp to visit, you want to stay in one of the houses. One of the things I should say is our houses are all small. If you look on Princeton Review, we're like the second best or first best housing system. The houses are kept up. None of them are bigger than 85 students. They, the dining is not bad. It's not as good as UMass. UMass has like famous cooks. I don't know why, but I don't know if you read about this, but they have like really good kitchen food or whatever in their dining hall. But we have a lot of local grown food, and I think the food's pretty good. And whenever they do events, they always bring in like an ice cream truck on campus. And, everything has cookies, and there's a lot of home touches. The president invites students, like in certain cadres, over to her house for teas and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of personal interaction. When we bring lecturers to campus, it's not unusual, even with somebody famous, that we'll take a select group of students out with some faculty, with the speaker for dinner. So we try to put students into contact with like the full educational experience. And a lot of the professors here were trained at Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Princeton, University of Chicago, Berkeley.
Right.
So when we write letters to those schools, they know who we are, and we have excellent ability to place students because we know them in depth. When I write for students in my field in religion, often they've taken 3, 4, 5 classes with me, and I can say detailed things about them.
Because they
And
have yep.
yeah, because I've worked with them a lot, and my mentor, I have 2 mentors, one's at Harvard, one's at Yale. If I write those people, they're like, oh, well, I know who this person is writing this letter. So, and that's true of a lot of the professors here. So we're not exactly a backwater, we're still on the East Coast.
Yep.
And when it comes time to visit grad schools, there's a ton of them that are within driving distance here that you can visit. So there's a lot of good things about it. But you have to figure out whether it's a good fit. I mean, the single sex thing is, if that's make or break, this isn't the right school for you. I enjoy teaching all women, but I have a wife, I go home, I live in a co-ed environment. Now there are boys that, you can go up to UMass, obviously, whatever students date, they're not every student here is a lesbian. I'd say half, 60, 70% of students are C-men or whatever, or they're just busy, students are in school, they're busy.
Yeah, I think the one all female dating, I mean, we wouldn't have come here to visit. We knew it was all female.
Right.
It was, again, this trip is, she has a list of schools, just exploratory. I told her when I went to college, it was the visit that made the difference for me.
Right.
Like as to where
unfortunately, nobody's around, or very few people. We have a couple students in the labs at the moment, and usually we would have, even if we didn't have our students here, we have a graduate social work program of 400 students, but they went remote this year because they had to make the decision.
So this is just, again,
you're just getting a sense.
This is a sense, right? And then this is decide if she even wants to apply. And then, of course, if she applies and gets in, I told her you need to come back, right? You need to come back when the students are here to get a sense of, is this really the place for you?
You have to figure out if you
Right.
Yeah,
and so for now, it's just
yeah.
look at the environment, see if there's some place that you think you'd be comfortable, right? So at least consider applying, which is what we're trying to do now.
Right. So what have you seen on campus so far?
Well, we just started.
Okay.
So
there's a bunch of gardens down there.
Yep.
That you should definitely check out.
Yeah, we just came up this way.
Yeah, so. And across the street, there's stuff. There's also another set of gardens back there.
Okay.
And you can also, they have some pretty good online tours. They have like an architectural tour of Smith. It's a quirky thing that I love. You'll think it's a little weird, but when they rebuilt the art, you can look at it on YouTube. But when they rebuilt the art museum, Mrs. Kohler from Kohler Toilets went here, and she flew 2 artists out to the Kohler factory and taught them how to embed artwork in porcelain. And there are 2 art bathrooms in the museum. Google up Smith College Museum of Art toilets. And one of them, the women's, is called like Underwater Dream, and like all the fixtures and toilets have like these blue swirly, it's very cool. And the men's has 8 creation myths through water that are done in the tiles. It's very busy, but it's kind of cool. Each tile tells like the graphic of the creation myth.
Oh.
So we have a lot of quirky things like that.
That's good.
So the school has campy aspects to it. These small schools, all the houses have their own traditions. Okay. We do lovely graduation ceremonies. I like to say we're excellent in turning students into donors. They sort of forget the pain when they leave here. We really wine them and dine them that last couple weeks or whatever. So
that's good. That's good.
So, those are important things. But I gave you my card.
What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Joel Kaminsky.
Ken Padilla.
Okay.
This is Karina.
Okay. And seriously, you don't have to talk to me, but you can look online. You can usually write professors.
Okay.
But if you want me to put you in touch with like somebody in the chemistry department, either a former student or current student, or one of the professors there, I'm happy to make the connection for you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And those people will talk to you and really tell you more about how the curriculum is set up and what do they specialize in, and what are the types of things that they do. But I've had students who have graduated with chemistry majors. Years ago, I had a student, Rachel Herzig Marks, who lives in Boston, and she graduated. And the year she graduated, she was hired into a lab at MIT with just an undergraduate degree, working on. She has like a patent if you look online. She was working on chemical detectors related to terrorism, like things that you would have like in the airport in case
Yeah.
somebody walked
Yeah.
in with it. And she was making more money coming out of college first year without even a graduate degree than I was making here. So chemistry can be lucrative.
Yeah, that's what she's interested in too.
Okay,
So
I'll let you go.
thank you. Joe.
Enjoy the
I
campus
appreciate
tour.
it. Yes.
Thank you so
Take-
much.
Take care.
Yep. That way.
Yep. I got a whole video of that.
Oh, you're recording.